welcome back. Today I'm going to finish up the track build video. If you happen to have seen the last video where I talked about the fold-up table and the track layout that I was working on, and then the problems with electricity which caused it to be tore down, and so this video is quite delayed. But today I'm going to go into the layout, the design, and some ideas maybe you can use. So here's the track. We're going to go through the inner road course portion. So this is one lap. It's about 86 feet long, 6.5 foot wide, 14 foot long table, and it folds up neatly and stores away. That's one lap. So here's slow motion. Back straight is where you start. This curve is radius 3 and ends in a radius 2, and it's slightly elevated. I wedged up that edge of the table, so you got a little bit of banking there. You come in. This is the section where you have to decide if you're going to do oval or road course. I made these pieces out of Pro X pieces. I'm going to show some close-ups in case you want to try to do something like this. I got these off eBay for about 10 bucks. And what you need to do is you need to modify them a little bit. I took a couple of them. I had to run in with the table saw, and you can see that you cut them and glue them back together to make the things there. And then you take the bottom off and remove the reset for the lane changer, so that when you turn the flapper, it stays there. And so this is the other portion where you're exiting, and you can see how everything just flows right over there. So now we're in the inner circle part there. Go back down the back straightaway. This is a really fast section of the track. And now we're going to go through this. It's a very small technical section, but it's very tricky. I try to put as many challenges in as possible. You got the S right there, bam, down the hill and up the hill. That hill has two banked curves going in opposite direction, laying down there, and then two overpass down turns. A lot of elevation changes. You come around that hairpin and down and over the hill. That is a radius 1 right, and then left, 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 and then it ends in a radius 3. So you can actually start building some speed when you exit that curve and get ready for the mini straight. But this hole is a little bit tricky because you will get light once you crest that hill if you're going too fast, and the guide flag will pop out and you'll scoot straight across and whack straight into that 2x4. So here's the car in action. You come around down the hill and back up and out, and this is the underpass, the only underpass in the track, and you can see it pops back up and goes past the pit lane and then back down the main straight for one completed lap. Here's a pit lane. I put the pit lane right after a curve. You shouldn't put a lane changer right after a curve, because if you're going too fast, you'll miss the lane change. We had problems with people hitting pit lane so fast that their car was swerving up, going on two wheels, and their guide flag missed the reset button. So the next car coming down on a straightaway would hit that pit lane, not knowing it, and they were going full bore, and it would just tear their car to pieces. So this way you have to be going slow or you won't hit the pit lane. All right, let's straight back to the oval. What you need to do to make the oval is take a piece of track like this, shorten it up, and put it on a belt sander. And I'm sanding this down. I still got a little ways to go because I needed to go down a little bit flusher. And then I put some magnets on there to hold it to the rails, and you put it right across there. You can see where the underpass goes. You see that section right there? You just snap it right into there and let the magnets cling to it, and you have an oval. So then you need to go back to your flaps here, and you can just flip them with your finger like this. We're going to make into an oval, so we're going to flip them back till they go straight. They'll stay that way because the resets are removed. Here we got Richard Petty going around, and around he goes around the oval, just like that. So that was a pretty quick change. You can also leave that piece of track off and try jumping. Your cars may get beat up, but it was kind of fun doing a Duke Boys reenactment there. Okay, so that's the track layout. And now we're going to go into the wiring mods, and I got to give you a little bit of a warning. Don't try this at home if you're not comfortable with any of this stuff. But this is just some of the things you can do if you just get experimental and play around with some cheap relays and stuff that are floating around on eBay. I took my tower to the desktop underneath the steps behind that paneling, and I tucked the controls as much as I can for the race management software up against the wall. I'm going to run a wire up and across the rafters and back down. So this is my control panel corner. I got a variable power supply there, and the left side there where the amps are, you want to set your amps as high as you can, get them as close to 8 amps, and then mark them, and don't go above that. But don't go below that or your cars will dog down. If you run about 7.8 amps, you can run 6 full magnet cars wide open, and none of them will dog down. So that's my the power supply. You can see it's plugged right into the control unit that it's remotely located. Next thing up is these two toggle switches. They are, the one on the left turns on a bypass so that all my accessories are bypassed. The one on the right turns the power off to the accessories. So I basically turn them up and down together. So if you want the accessories, you turn them up, which turns your accessories on and eliminates the bypass. So first accessory we're going to look at is this relay. So what you do is you take and cut one of the wires going to from the control unit to the rail, run it through the relay, and then back to the track. So there's a wire, boom, boom. That relay has a variable delay off, so that when it's triggered, you can have it stay on for a few seconds. And it's hooked to those emergency stop buttons. Every driver has one, as you can see in this picture here. So when someone hits that, you can let the rest of the drivers go for another second or two. So the guy who crashes gets a penalty. And that's powered by that 12-volt power supply down there. I got that, I think, from Amazon or eBay. You know, because I was going to put a lot of accessories in there. And this is one of the emergency stop buttons that I have, you know, located around the track for each driver to use. And it's just one big wire that goes all the way around the track and just goes from one, you know, emergency stop to the other. So if any of them are broken, it shuts off. So I wanted sound too. That was not going to work. I found this on eBay. I mean, you can use a car horn. You can use, it's a 12-volt DC. So anything, you know, doorbell. I found this where you could record sounds and put them in there. And it has up to 8 slots. It was going to be a little confusing, and it was. I mean, the solder points are very small. I didn't even solder mine. I just put the wires in and twisted them. I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, see, here's, I ran some wire in there, twisted it, and then ran hot glue across it so they wouldn't short out across each other. So, you know, you put it together and you record files and you put them in there. So I recorded a file for each driver, like caution driver 1, caution driver 2, and I put a car crash sound in there. And then I found one use for one of the other ones. So I got one unused one. Here's what I found for one of the extra, you know, unused tracks. I thought, you know, if we're going to restart the race, it would be neat if we had a cool sound.
Ready, set, go!
Pretty simple and easy to do. Okay, now the emergency stop buttons, you know, they have it 2 circuits, one's on, one's off, and then you push it down and they reverse themselves. So you can see the blue wire is the one that runs all the way around and keeps the power to the track relay operating. I'm going to take the green wire, I'm going to run some speaker wires from there over to that sound module, and I'm going to hook them up to each individual, where I had each individual track stored for each driver. And you know, I was testing this out, and it got a little bit confusing underneath there, as I was trying to make sure that, you know, when it said driver 5 crashed, it was the driver 5 emergency stop. I have the controllers hardwired, but they're spread out completely around the track. I've extended them. But, you know, once I got it all together, I kind of liked it, and this is the result there.
Caution, driver 2. Caution, driver 2.
So the flashing light is wired into the relay on the left. That relay is powered by the rails on the track. When the power to the track is cut, the relay closes the circuit and turns the light on. I should have left it that simple, but my daughter thought that the flashing was annoying. So I had this timer laying around that...
Caution, driver 2.
Yeah, it's just this little timer. It has an off on, and so I put that in the light. You know, I interrupted the power going to the light and ran it through that timer, so that I can sort of adjust it a little bit and turn it, you know, so that the light flashes for a few seconds and it's off for a few seconds.
Ready, set, go!
So yeah, we're ready to race. There's my controls, all the wires there. You can see I got a little PC, really old computer speaker set up there. But it plays the sound pretty good. It lets people know when someone's crashed. I think it's kind of neat to have a little extra sound to it. And I mean, I don't think I'll use it, you know, for most times. But when the grandkids are over, they'll love that. And it'll be, you know, just kind of something fun. So hopefully we'll get back to racing. I'm really looking forward to this. I think the track's going to be fun with all these hills and curves and stuff. So, yep, started with a fold-up table and pretty tickled with it so far. Okay, guys, have a good day out there, and thank you very much for watching.